fourth imbibition of the Green Lion, fourth turn of the in my magnum opus, the great work of Steven School. So I wasn't on here yesterday. I took a break, and I'm probably going to take a little bit more of a break after this video from YouTube because I started a Patreon page, and I'm going to be working on that. I need to get put together some content to start uploading over there. This is the fourth turn of the wheel in the long wet path of alchemy. This is my work, Alchemy of Steven School, with iron pyrite. So this is part of a series of videos. I have my Green Lion over here. I have my extraction vessel over here. This liquid menstruum extracting. And of course I have poured it over here. And then I have distilled the menstruum back over the helm carefully to repeat the extraction, thus spinning the wheel of alchemy just like the Ouroboros. Just like the Ouroboros in alchemy, spinning the wheel, the volatile and the fixed, spinning the wheel until the volatile and the fixed become one. That is the whole idea. So, fourth imbibition of the Green Lion. Alright, I have opened the alembic. I'll place the funnel there. This is Alchemy of Steven School. Do not try this at home. Not for consumption. Notice I intend to leave the iron pyrite in the extraction vessel, only taking what I have extracted. Okay, replacing the keck clamps. And now, I am going to turn on the hot plate and start a distillation. That is the temperature dial. And I'm going to set the temperature at my usual 165 degrees Celsius. That is the temperature that I choose for this particular experiment. By raising the heat slowly by degrees and observing the reactions. Fourth turn of the wheel. This reminds me of a Bible quote. And darkness was upon the face of the deep. I haven't read that Bible quote in a while. I should dig it up and refresh my memory, because it reminds me, darkness of the deep. Alright, so this will be the fourth turn of the wheel that I have started here, which means I'm going to distill this over here, the menstruum, and then I'm going to pour the extract back over here, and that, I'm considering that as one turn of the wheel. So I have completed 3 turns of the wheel, and now I am starting the 4th turn of the wheel. This is the menstruum from the 4th extract of the iron pyrite I have poured in here, and once it distills over the helm, that will complete the 4th turn of the wheel. So this is the 4th imbibition of my green lion. I am increasing the size and quantity of my green lion with these imbibitions. The interesting thing is that in alchemy, some of the old alchemical manuscripts, they said that a philosopher's stone would need to be multiplied at least 3 times to have any effect on tinging metals. This is legends from so I'm just quoting, that as the old legends say. I'm not saying that it's a fact. I'm just saying that's what the old manuscripts say, some of them. So another interesting thing is that when I completed the 3rd turn of the wheel and had the 4th extraction going, the vinegar, the menstruum, stayed clear. That's interesting to me that it happened on the 4th extraction, because that could be seen as 3 multiplications of my green lion. And in the writings of Nicholas Flamel, specifically Letter to Nephew, he suggests multiplying his stone to the 4th order. And in the writings of Theophrastus Paracelsus, he spoke of this as in the extracts, all of that vinegar being colored yellow, which matches my work. But then he also said that when the vinegar remains clear in the extraction vessel, that he completed 2 more extractions just to make sure it was thorough. So I'm on my 4th turn of the wheel, and I've had three doses of yellow vinegar and 1 clear. The 4th one was clear. That really stands out in my mind. It really stands out. In my opinion, it matches some of the old alchemy manuscripts. It really matches some of them, in my opinion. I have this vented adapter here. I see a lot of people talk about distillations in sealed vessels. Liquids expand and contract with temperature change in a sealed glass. That can build pressure and crack the glass. I have my glass vented. This is mineral realm alchemy with iron pyrite. Yes, there are different terms in alchemy. They call it multiplication, turn of the wheel, eagle, many names in the old alchemy manuscripts. But if you look at the Ouroboros symbol here, it's spinning like wheel, turning the wheel of alchemy, the multiplications. What's going on is the goal of alchemy that is solve as coagula, dissolve and coagulate. Okay, but with turning the wheel, we have the volatile. It has wings. The serpent with wings means it's volatile. This one does not have wings, so it's fixed. This is the earth, and this is volatile material. So what's going on with the spinning of the wheel is the volatile and the fixed become one. The fixed fixes the volatile, so it's no longer volatile, and they become one, fused together, and no longer flee the fire, no longer volatile. That's what the rotations of the wheel really are depicted in this way, is what I'm saying. So this is actually, alchemy is hard to figure out because the old writings are so confusing, but it's actually simple stuff. It really seems simple stuff. Yeah. So there's that. I'm anxious to see what happens with the extract on the next turn of the wheel. When this liquid distills over the helm, that will complete the fourth chemical wheel. And then when I have the fifth extraction, I'm interested to see if it colors the vinegar yellow or if it leaves it clear. When I change things in my magnum opus, subtle changes, doing the work slightly different than I did it before, all the subtle changes in the way it's done affects the outcome. The subtle changes in the process causes changes in the finished outcome. So it's interesting when I do my magnum opus experiment in different ways with slight changes. It's really been a learning experience for me. It's taken a long time to gain an understanding of these things. It seems like the hot plate is appears to have gotten up to its temperature of 165. The LED readout is no longer flashing, and I'm seeing a slight bit of activity in the glass. At this temperature, this seems to be the perfect temperature for this experiment for me. I've tried it lower. I tried reducing 5 degrees to 160 degrees Celsius, and the distillation seemed to stop at 5 degrees less. But then one day, I accidentally turned it up. I thought I had set it at 165, but I accidentally turned it up to 180. And a red material, like crystal-like material, forming on the glass. And from what I've seen in my previous experiments over the years, I would call that the blood of the green lion, that it separated and started crystallizing in the heat. It likes to turn red in heat, and it tries to form crystals like a crystalline material, but it's weird because it can revert back to liquid. But then again, that does, in my opinion, match the writings of the sages, wherein the philosopher's stone was said to sometimes be a dry material like a red glass-like crystal that could revert into an oil. That's exactly what that is, and I'm going to be getting into that more in the future. I know a long time ago I used to make videos about it, and I actually had a video on Amazon about it, but my DVDs are no longer on there. That was called The Black Earth of the Egyptians Alchemy DVD. But since those DVDs are no longer available on Amazon, it really doesn't matter anyway, because now I'm online making videos on YouTube, and I'm going to be starting making content on Patreon as well pretty soon in the near future. So I have no need to try to put a DVD on Amazon. Between YouTube and Patreon, I can make plenty of videos. So all I can do now is wait for this material, this menstruum, to distill over the helm. It's a slow distillation. I don't rush the great work. That's one thing in all my time of studying alchemy and experimenting and contemplating. one thing that I've heard over and over again from every direction is patience. Haste makes waste. Haste doesn't seem to go well with the great work, but patience does. Patience does. And in the future, I'm going to be getting some more equipment. And at some point, I'm going to be setting up my sand bath here, and I'm going to get that going. I'd kind of like to get a new camera. And I want to get another clamp stand. And I want to get a couple more retorts. And then there's some smaller items like a weight scale. I want to start checking weights and measurements on things just to help record the information. Like this material over here. This is a white waxy material that I got from a short wet path of alchemy that I did with iron pyrite and nitric acid. So it resulted in a white material that precipitated. It has a waxy texture. So that's very interesting to me because in alchemy, the old manuscripts, they talk about the white stone and should melt and flow like wax, and it's a stone yet no stone because it looks like a stone, but it's not a stone. So this white waxy material really is interesting for a lot of reasons to me. So I thought maybe I should get some weight, try to measure the weight of it. See what other things. I don't know if I could measure the density. I have a meter over here that measures electrical conductivity. I haven't used it yet. This blue meter here, TDS and EC, that's total dissolved solids and electrical conductivity. It also measures temperature, but I haven't used that one. I want to probably need to understand it a little bit better about how to use it. And then perhaps I can incorporate that into some testing. Also, I got beeswax. Now, if you've studied alchemy, really studied the old manuscripts that talk about wrapping their philosopher's stone in beeswax, and said that it won't work if it's not wrapped in wax. That's a very interesting thing. So I do have some beeswax, and some of the testing experiments that I want to get into in the future will involve melting some of this with the beeswax, for instance, to see the outcome. Will it cause color change? Will it make it turn red? That would be exciting. Will it tinge? Will it whiten copper? So these are some of the things I want to find out what happens when I melt this with beeswax, and what it'll do to hot copper metal, if it'll whiten the copper. Perhaps I could try it on some other metals too. Because, if you go online and start researching alchemical transmutation stories of lead into gold, like the story of Edward Kelly with the innkeeper, a lot of them in their writings, in those stories, they recorded it as a white powder that they used for their transmutations. Now, when I first started studying alchemy, I came across stuff where they were said to have a red glass-like stone, a red powder, a powder this color of saffron or lemon yellow. But some of the writings say white. So, because some of the writings say white, I want to try more experiments with the white stone. I have 2 white stones right now, as a matter of fact. 2 white stones. Them. I can show the other one. I will grab it. Alright, here I am. You've probably seen this in some of my videos. Both of these, as a matter of fact, white and white. A waxy substance, or is that the vegetable stone? Actually, neither one of these are the vegetable stone, but I have recently come to a better understanding of the vegetable stone, um, and I probably would like to dig into that in my future videos. Now, this is going to be considered a mineral stone, I would think, in the mineral realm of alchemy, because I made this from iron pyrite through an interesting process that I want to recreate on video. I want to redo the process on video and explore it more. And then this is a quite interesting. This is like the granddaddy creme de la creme of alchemy secrets. I mean, this is deep. It's really deep. You notice it doesn't look like the other one. It's a white powder. It's a very fine white powder. It doesn't look nearly like the other one. This is a very interesting substance. And I'm going to be making more videos on this, doing more experiments. I don't want to just spoil it all at once, but I want to make more videos on this. It's really, truly quite an interesting material. I've done some videos on it. If you go to my alchemy or my YouTube homepage, you'll see a video on it. It's called White Powder Gold Alchemy. That is a video on this substance. And then I have another video. The title said something about testing white powder gold, or testing white powder gold or something. It was on the white powder gold, but testing in the title. That's in my. It's not too far back in my videos either. If you go to my YouTube page, my YouTube channel, and scroll back through the videos, there's one on the white powder gold that says testing in the title. So there's 2 videos right there that I've made on this, and I want to make more. That is an interesting substance. It's very interesting. I mean, it's deep. It's really deep. I'm kind of in awe by it. I'm going to be doing more testing with it. That stuff is exciting. It's exciting. I have 2 videos on it, so if you really want to dig deeper into it, I have 2 videos, and I've told you where they are. The one is right on my homepage, my YouTube homepage, and the other is not far back in my videos. That stuff. When I discovered that stuff, I mean, I've been studying alchemy since 2008. Over the years, I've had some breakthroughs where I just, all of a sudden, I just understand something. Because, studying alchemy can be frustrating. They call it lost in the labyrinth when people get frustrated, confused, and they get angry. And I've learned great patience just from keeping at it. All those things, I just learned great patience. The rewards of figuring something out, it's really, really interesting. Because when I first came into alchemy, it was just stumbling block after stumbling block. And then as I started to understand, I just started to understand. A deep level of understanding. It's just interesting to me. A lot of people research ormus, and they have different ways of making their ormus, and they call it different things, like white powder gold. And I remember way back, somebody said the white powder gold was found in the tombs of the pharaohs. Um, that's interesting. That's interesting. Ormus. I'm not really into the term Ormus, but I also don't compare this to anything that anyone else has made recently. If you look at all those videos on YouTube about Ormus, and you see the processes and the things they're doing, I can tell you that they don't look anything like my work as far as the process goes. And if the process is not the same, then the outcome is not the same. These are deep, deep secrets in alchemy that people search for. And they're not really that deep. They're not. It just takes patience and understanding. Patience and understanding. Back to the fourth turn of the wheel. The distillation has... The hot plate has reached the desired temperature. The liquid has heated. I see some activity in the glass here. The distillation is begun. Soon it will be coming over the helm into the extraction vessel. As far as the white powder, this material I have called subatomic particles and white powder gold in my videos. That's basically some of the terminology I've been using to refer to it, and I have done some experiments. I tried dissolving some in some distilled spirits. And that's what it looks like. If I shake it up, it does appear to dissolve. It also seems like it might be super saturated. That maybe I have too much of the white powder in there, that little bit of distilled spirit can't dissolve all of it. But it does seem to dissolve in there when I shake it up. This one over here, distilled water, and interesting enough, it has completely dissolved in the distilled water. Completely dissolved. Now in the alcohol, it's colored, the distilled alcohol, white, a whitish tint, and we see some of the particles undissolved, but the portion that was added to the distilled water is completely clear and completely dissolved. That is interesting. I like it. Okay, I think that about wraps up this video, because all I'm going to wait for now is for this menstruum to distill over the helm. That's going to take some time. Maybe a day, maybe 24 hours. We'll see. I'm not going to rush the distillation. I don't want to burn my green lion. If you look down here, the quantity of my green lion has increased. It has increased. Let's see if we can adjust the camera and get down there. zoom in, you see the quantity. If you've watched the previous videos in this series, it appears that there has been an increase in the quantity of my green lion in the old alchemy manuscripts. Some of them call it the green and golden lion. Could it be because the golden water, the golden colored liquid, condenses down to form the green lion? It's interesting, because as I work with the green lion, as long as I don't burn it, as I work with it, it always seems to go back to the color of gold. If I could bring this to dryness and take it out and then dissolve it in something, dissolve it in liquid, it always seems to go back to the color of liquid gold. We should be able to see some more of that in future videos. Well, that concludes. I think I'm going to wrap up this video. This is Alchemy of Steven School. Do not try this at home, not for consumption. Subscribe for updates. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.